Season finale. Press play.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the season finale of Your Perspective. Now we have a treat for you all today because in this episode, our good host here will actually be in the hot seat. And so for you that may not know me, I am Daryus' husband. I'm also the creator of King's Creations with Nick. So that being said, we're going to get into today's questions. As I stated before, we'll be asking Daryus the questions this time. And this one thing, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get into today's questions. And so our first question. Now, we all know Daryus that is on the camera, throughout season 1, throughout season 2. We've seen you interview people. We've seen your persona in front of the camera. I think a lot of people want to know, who is Daryus outside the camera? Once the cameras go off and once the set is put up, who is Daryus?
I would say Daryus is someone who is, believe it or not, I'm shy, I'm awkward. I'm a gamer. I play like Xbox on PlayStation. I would say I'm more of a extrovert. No, what's the opposite? Introvert. Well, I won't say that. I'm more like in between. Some of my days, but like I am very outgoing. But like if you see me in a mall and be like, hey, and I'm like, I will say hey back, but like if I don't know you, and like I'd be like shy, like at a party, I'll be the one like standoffish to myself until like I feel comfortable talking. And like Darius is someone who is, I would say, still learning like myself, as in like I know who I am identity wise, but like I'm still working on progression with like growth, like, I would say mentally healthy, like with dieting, exercising, and I would say also too with the way I just move around with individuals in my life, like especially like, and I'll say in a marriage, like I'm learning this as well. And there's this also someone who is, of course, I'm a son, I'm a husband, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend, and I would say I'm a very good friend, as in like I'm loyal to the ones who are loyal to me. And let's see, Darius is someone who is determined to like go after everything he desires in the world. As in like I would turn every no to a yes, like goal wise. As in like starting this podcast, I would say like I learned that, I hate to say it, but like, I learned that family, having family as guests was like a hard struggle to like have them come on, whether like friends and like strangers were the easiest ones to go through. So I was like, I'm learning to like adapt myself with the persona of like, off camera and on camera, and like be more sympathetic and like having those cues of learning individuals around me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that, I think you said that you're very, you could be reserved sometimes,
Mhm.
be very shy. And I know that in our discussions in the past, one of the whole reasons why you started this show and also why I started my show was that, it's breaking out of our comfort zone.
Right.
As you can see here, the intro of this show, I was very nervous and kind of stutter over my words. But once you get into the groove of things and all that stuff, I think that what you're saying is that you take risk, and those risks is to get you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you're learning how to navigate life, getting out of your comfort zone and things like that.
Right. Because like there's this saying, like once you feel uncomfortable, stay in that mindset, because like I think it's saying like once you do something and makes you uncomfortable, keep doing it, because it's gonna make you like progress.
It's where your growth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So for our next question, we all have those times in our life where it's always a situation, whether it's a very low part of our life, something's going on, or whether it's a very good, event, something that happened, got a promotion, whatever. It's some situation in our life that really changes us. It changes the way, it may change our lifestyle, it may change the way that we think, it may give us our perspective or our mind. It may even change the way, the people that we surround ourselves around. And so, my question to you is, can you tell us a situation where a past situation that motivated you to make a change? And this can be, like I say, a lifestyle change. It can be a change in your perspective, change in mindset, or just a change in your friend group or the people you hang around.
I would say, so the year of 2020, yeah, so like, when you get married, goodness.
24.
Goodness, okay, 24. So like, I would say, like during the time, like when we were like preparing for the marriage, I learned that some people were like my friends in like for the long run. And I would say, that I'm not gonna say her name, but like your situation where at the wedding, I had like my best friend at the time pretty much put her needs before mine. And like it always been a constant thing in our friendship, and I just like let it slide all the time. But at some point, like I learned, like in that low point of the year, like I learned how to set boundaries for myself and my friend groups, as in like if you, like, I will give so much what you allow and like not allow you to take as much as me. You keep giving to someone, eventually like, you get tired out. And that's what the friendship was. And I would say the lowest point was me learning the hard way because I was friends with her for like 5 years since I was 21. And having someone always in like your corner, someone your go-to turn on you, like it's really hurtful. And another scenario I would give too is as you all may not know, I have a business called Rosin Collection where it's like a candle line, wig line, and shampoo line. As of right now, like it is closed due to like I would say it's closed due to it didn't go the way I wanted to go. As in like I was getting sales, but I was not getting like a lot of sales. And like I assumed, which is a bad thing to assume, I assumed like my sales would came for like friends and family. Like where friends did support, but like I said, family did not support. And like I had to learn that like the hard way, like as in like people just don't support you as you support them back. So I would say like that whole year, like it was humbling for me an experience to like really like open my eyes and see that like, like wow, like all people are not for me. And I shouldn't be like, I hate to say it, but I shouldn't be for them too.
So how did that change? So you saying that you realized that, and so what changes did you make, or what that situation made you change? What was it, your mind, or how are you moving now as opposed to back then?
I would say how I'm moving now, as in like if I like for example, if I just meet you at the street and like, oh, I work and like we have dialogue and like, hey, you want to hang out? I wouldn't get too close out the jump how I normally am people. I'll give you like an arm's reach until I can determine if like you really are for me as a friend. And I would say even for like friends now, I'm not as open as I want to be because like people like I'm like I said, I'm very shy and also like extroverted, but like I'm very sensitive. So like for me to like get hurt by someone, that's why I be closed off. So for me, I don't give as much as I used to give to people.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think the whole, thing about life is that you start to protect your energy. And when you're around, whether it be friends or family or even a lover, if something is feeling like you're just drained all the time, then you need to reevaluate, what's going on with that relationship. And I think that what you're saying is that in those instances with the wedding and the instances with, what was the other thing that you mentioned? The Colorado and all that stuff. With those instances, you start to see who people really are.
Yeah.
Or maybe just, you kind of see the situation for what it is, and then it prompts you to make a change, and you've made that change.
Yeah. It could be a situation where like I probably outgrew them as well. Not my family, but like the person my friend was.
Yeah, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Right.
Well, people will have a discussion about that, because family is who you make family, and so, but your blood is your blood.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Okay, so our third question, and this kind of goes into the previous question, but what relationship advice would you give your younger self? And so I know for me, sometimes many times I'm very nostalgic. So I always think about the things in the past, good and the bad. And sometimes with the, even with the bad parts, I question myself, if I knew then what I know now, how would that have been different? And so, and in terms of what I know now, the more wisdom, as I got older, the wisdom I've gained, if I was to go back in time, if I had a time machine to go back in time to tell my younger self, give my younger self some advice, put your your feet in those shoes. If you had a time machine to go back to talk to your younger self, what would that advice be as it relates to relationships?
I would say take my time. It will take your time getting to know someone and don't let someone in, let them in gradually. And I would say in any like friendship, dating wise, friendship wise, I would say go into it like open minded and like not go into like with a notion of like, oh my God, this person might like hurt me in a process. To having friends and like dating someone is a risk, as in like it's inevitable to like not get hurt by someone. So I would tell myself, like go in with open heart, open mind, and allow yourself to feel these things, because if not, like it's only hurt you in the end. And it's a saying, someone can drink the poison. How it goes? Someone can drink. You can drink the poison, but it can affect someone else. As in, like, if I'm over here, like, have my guard up with people, not allowing me to feel all these things, not letting people in, I'm the one hurting and taking hurt for myself, to danger myself, not the other person. So I'll tell myself to just like take your time and like be more open and not like more guarded and like to yourself, because like the world's not out to get you.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point there. Is that life, whether it be with family or friends or past lovers. We all get, damaged, and so we have good experiences and we have bad experiences, but for the bad experiences, sometimes that makes us put up this guard, but understanding that guard is going to, it can actually block your blessing. Right. It can block the person that that is trying to get to you. And so, like you said, like you gradually let them in. You still have a guard up.
Mm.
No one's saying, don't protect yourself, protect your energy. But when you have that fence, that whole wall there, you're not letting anyone through. And
Right.
so, like you said, right now, you gradually let people in,
Right.
understanding that if you close that gate all together, no one else is going to be able to come into your heart or into your life. And so I think that, that is a good example of not allowing past hurt to affect your future relationships. Right. All right. And so, our next question is, this is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
And so you have to choose one. And based on the one that you choose, you have to give us a reason why you chose that over the others. So it says, choose one of the following and then tell us why you made that choice. So would you want to A, have fame, B, have wealth, or C, have happiness?
I'll choose one.
You have to choose one. And just to let you know, this is, you can do a critical thinking part of it because, as you can kind of, just go ahead and answer the question and then give us your explanation, and then we'll go into detail about that after.
I would say the first one, fame, because of the fact that I feel like my purpose here in life is to change people and make a difference in the world that I wanted to see for myself growing up. So if I had the fame behind it, I can have more of a momentum and more of a following to reach those people who I can't really reach now. So I would say fame due to that reasoning, because I want to pretty much just help. When I leave the world, I want to leave the world as great, better than what I came into it. If that makes sense. As in I want to change this, change that, and I can't do it if I'm if people know who I am, if I don't have an audience to back me up with or agree with what I'm saying to reach somebody. I would say fame.
Yeah, and I think the whole point of this is that this question is not posed to where you can only choose one and you only have one, because if you're really thinking critically about it, if fame is something that you've always desired, then that will link into your happiness.
Yeah.
And then fame can also come with wealth. Now, fame can also not come with it. There's been a lot of people that's been famous and been broke because of bad contract negotiations or, they exactly have no money and all that stuff. So people that can come, that has fame and not wealth, but there's a lot of people with fame that has wealth.
Yeah.
And with wealth, you can also think about that critically, because if you're wealthy, you can be able to do things, your money, wealth can give you power, and power can help you make changes in people's lives to where you can have, that is making a lasting impact or a legacy. You can do that. If that's your happiness, then you also have happiness. So, my point of that is just trying to, pick your mind as to your rationale, choosing one over the other, but also you can just think critically how you can pick one and still have the other two. Yep. Exactly. Okay. So, now I think those first few questions was more serious questions. Now we're going to get into more kind of loosen things up, kind of lighten things up. All right. So this is a 3-part question. So I know that you're very big with reality TV. You love all type of shows, whether it be Housewives, Married to Medicine, all those stuff, Baddies, all that stuff. And so who are your favorite celebrities, your favorite reality TV stars, and who's your least favorite? And then the third part of that is, if you was a TV executive, you were the executive of Bravo or Oxygen or whatever, which celebrity would you fire?
Okay.
So go ahead and answer the first one, and then we'll get to the second one.
I would say the celebrities I love, or reality TV celebrities I love, would be Karen Hilger from Housewives of Potomac, because she's so authentic to herself, and she's so confident with who she is, and she doesn't pretty much allow others to make her feel less than, because she knows who she is. And I would say secondly will be Portia Williams from Atlanta Housewives, because Portia's just so carefree, and she doesn't let, she's like me, we don't let we're goofy, so we don't let always stuff be serious towards us. Life should be happy. So why are we going to be up and down and on a wave? And the second question you said, who would I?
So the second part of that question,
who I don't like.
Yeah, who's your least favorite?
I would say from Married to Medicine, I would say Quad Webb from Married to Medicine, because she's just so, to me, performative on TV. It's not authentic.
It doesn't come off as. I'm sorry. I'll agree with you on that.
She's not authentic. And I would say one more. I would say Ashley Darby from Potomac.
Oh God, yeah.
She doesn't have no storyline since seasons 3.
Since she's even started.
Yeah, so she's unneeded. So, and who would I fire?
So go back to that. A little bit more about outside of with Ashley Darby, outside of not having it. What else about her?
I would say she doesn't give me a housewife, aesthetic wise, as in everybody else on the show pretty much paid their way to become something. She's got lucky and married somebody who has money. and made a name for herself off his last name. So I feel like she had like the easy way out, which is kudos to her. But I'm seeing like out of everybody else, like who had to like proud their hands to like get to the top. I just don't respect that.
Okay. All right. And so the last part of that question is, if you was a network executive, like just say that you were the head of the board of, whether that be Bravo, Oxygen, who would you fire?
Has to be one person?
No, it can be, you can be who would.
Okay, so well, my main two, so it'd be Quad Webb because she's not married to medicine no more, and she doesn't bring anything to the show. And so, secondly, we Ashley Darby, same thing. Like she doesn't bring anything to the show at all. Like no storylines. Like it's the same repetitive storylines from like prior seasons, and she's overly messy and like doesn't take away from her own self. She's like she can be talking about other stuff that's important, as in like her upbringing, her family like lifestyles, and like other stuff, but she's just not to. So I'll fire her.
Anyone else from any not outside of our housewives or Married to Medicine? Anyone else that comes to mind?
I don't know. I think that's it. There's those two.
So I think this is a good discussion. I told you that who you would fire. Who's someone that you think is not on any of these shows that you think should be promoted into one of these shows? Yeah. Housewives, Married to Medicine, anything.
Well, I would say Tammy Roman should be on Atlanta because from seeing her in Best of Wives, she's like confident. She can take on like whoever. Beats at her own drum. It's not a follower. So I feel like she would thrive on Atlanta. And who else I would say? Who I bring up? Well, I don't know from like I don't know who I bring on Potomac. I don't know a lot of people. I don't know. Like you. Also too. You said who I bring back?
Yeah, it can be someone you want to bring back.
Nobody.
Okay.
No, nobody.
Okay. So what about Atlanta?
I'll bring Nene back. I'll bring her back.
Okay.
But she's coming back regardless because of she's linked now with Bravo. She's being Peacock's. Fingers crossed for her. So yeah, and I'm glad Phaedra came back. But other than that, like everybody else deserves to be fired.
Got you. All right. And so I think that was a good discussion. So question 6, if you were president of the United States and had unchecked power, and so the unchecked power part is that, of course, the president doesn't have as much power as people think they do because it's checks and balances. You have Congress, you have the Supreme Court that then checks his or her power. And so just throw out everything that you've learned in your civics classes in middle school, high school, elementary school. And let's say that you're the president and you had unchecked power. What are 4 top things that you would do?
Number 1 would be, I would make it to where if, this might sound delusional, but I feel like I'll make like the mortgages for housing like more like affordable. And like, I feel like if someone comes to me, goes to the bank and be like, yeah, I think I can afford $1 million home off of my income, I will let them have it. And like, if they lose it, that's on them. I feel like, how can you allow someone to not, I don't know. How can you not allow someone to, how can you tell me what I can afford? Like, you know my budgeting, you can see how much I make, but like, I can have money somewhere else. So like, how can you tell me what house I can afford, can afford?
So you're saying that you want to affordability of housing. And so outside of what people think they can afford, do you think you think it would be better just to allow the bankers to give people any type of money regardless of or do you think that they should, you should build a lot more homes to increase supply and bring down prices?
Well, I'll say both, but like, I feel like the main thing is we're told like we get these loans and we're told like a flat fee what we can afford by the bank, but they don't know, like I say, they don't know if I have like 5 people living with me to help out with that mortgage. So like, they can't. That's not fair. As like they can like deteriorate a certain amount of a loan. Okay,
so you have the whole housing situation. That's one. So what's the second one?
The second would be I would make colleges free for everybody because like y'all. So like we're programmed to go to school and then right after go to college. But in order to go to college, we have to pay these high. I never went to college, so like they have to pay like these high student loans, grants to get into school in order to make a living. I feel that's not fair. Like it's a double entendre kind of sort of because like so we're programmed to like work a 9 to 5, like 8 to 5, 8 to 30, whatever, 9 to 5, whatever. But in order to do that, to be successful, we have to go to college. So like, but we can't afford it. We can't afford it. So I make it free to everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's something I can agree. I can agree with you on because I know me. I've been in college. I do have student loans, and especially with this administration now, they're making getting student loans even harder, and capping the amount of student loans, and then putting people into these payment plans where they only have like 1 or 2 payment plans, and both of those payment plans may be not affordable for anyone that graduates from college. And so I think, like I've always said, the backbone of the success for any city, state, nation, whatever, is the education that's provided to people. And if people cannot access the education, knowing that, our economy is going further into where you need some type of skill. If it's not college, even trade school, you can go to be a welder, a plumber, electrician.
Agendas, I think you need to degree for that.
Yeah, well, I think you probably have to go to some form of school, but it's not like. But it should be accessible to all. Exactly. So I think that's a good one. So that's 2. So what about 3?
I would build free housing for like the homeless, and like I wouldn't charge them nothing at all. Like I'll help them like they have drug uses. I'll help them in rehab for free, and get them acclimated to like getting their IDs back, social security numbers back, and help them like get back into the real world. Because I feel like that should be a real thing. And like I also would like 4th, I would say.
So just going back to the whole, so just to clarify what you're saying in terms of the homelessness. So you're talking about not just building shelters, but also rehabilitation. Because I think that a lot of people, they see people on the side of the road, and they may say, oh, they have some decent clothing on. Oh, they're not homeless. They just want money or whatever. Not understanding that a lot of causes for homelessness can be mental health, substance abuse, and things like that. So what you're saying is that we don't need to just look at it as trying to find places for these people to stay, but to get them back on their feet, to get the treatment that they need and that they deserve, and then getting them back on their feet. So it's more of a rehabilitation. Okay, gotcha. And so that's 3. And so what's 4?
I would make a law for like law enforcement that they have to get mental evaluation every 6 months because of the way stuff going on. Like that's a big thing. As in, like I feel a lot of stuff can be taken, could be not I won't say like stuff will be like better, but like that will help the evaluations, so we can like determine if like, okay, you're not equipped no more, so we'd let you go. Rather keep allowing someone to like see stuff, deal with stuff. Like we know if somebody's the cops are drinking, like doing like drugs, whatever, can be mentally messed up, and it's still cops out here. So I feel like that should be evaluations every 6 months.
Yeah, and I think that this is a good discussion to have, especially, and this is just talking about the timeline that we're in just a few weeks ago with the whole shooting, the ICE shooting against Renee Good in Minneapolis. We don't know what his mental state was, but we all know that something that wasn't right, and all that stuff. So I think that, I think that goes just to law enforcement reform across the board, that they need to be a little bit more choosy about who they're putting in there, whether, they have mental illness or implicit biases and things like that. And so I think that's definitely a good thing. So yeah, I think all 4 of those are really good. So our last question, and this is you're gonna end everything kind of on a light note. If you could have anyone famous, influential, it doesn't mean to be a celebrity, it can be people in power or whatever. You could have anyone over to your house for dinner. Who would it be and why?
I would say, oh goodness, I don't know. I would say, well, no, I'll say that. I would say, I don't know. That's a hard one. I would say, if I had to choose, I would pick probably just Beyonce, because like I heard she's so humble, so like nice, and like just like I would love to see like her work, like get to like pick her notes in her like her mind about how she like handles business, and like how she like handles Ivy Park, her Creed, her hair shampoo. Like I don't know, just having her like around me would like my presence.
Yeah, like I said, I know Beyonce was going to probably be your top one. I know for me personally, I love Beyonce, but I think in terms of the people I would think I would be former President Obama and our forever First Lady Michelle Obama, because I mean I just love them. I've loved them ever since they came out in 2028, and not 2028. Was it what? Yeah, it was. It was 2008. Yeah, not 28. And so, and I was only like 14, 15 years at that time, but I've literally idolized them since then. And so I think that would be kind of my first people I have over. But okay, well, that concludes all of our questions. I think that through all these questions, we've gotten to really pick your brain and really show people who you are outside of this show and kind of, your own personalities. You want to go ahead and close us out?
Yes. So I will say final thoughts. I would say, guys, like this, by being a guest, it's more harder than I thought it was because I was over here nervous, but like I did good. But I would say, thank you for watching. Season 2 of Your Perspective will be airing. Well, season 3 will come out 2027. Be on lookout for that. Good things already planned for that as well. And I would just say thank you always for the support that you give me. Like this, it's been like almost a year. No, a year.
It's been almost a year.
Well, yeah, almost a year since the show been out, and like it's been tremendously. So I would just say also like Keith's Creations going to be like running forever. So like keep watching and streaming and subscribing to this channel, to our channel, to this show. And I would say to all my subscribers, thank you for watching.